From deep inside the piney woods of Northeast Texas, you are listening to Talk of the Night. And now, your host, Paranormal Phil. Good evening, good morning, wherever you may be around the world, around the globe, even wherever you are. Like I'm in the deep piney woods here in Northeast Texas. But tonight is Friday night. We got Friday night open discussion, open lines where you, the listeners, viewers, can call in, share your stories, experiences, or share any questions that you got about any of the topics that the show covers. If you want to call in, pop in the chat, let us know. My producer will give you a link to call in via Zoom. And if not, and you just want to type in the chat, pop in the chat, ask your question, or share a short story or a short experience on there, and I will read it on the air. Also tonight, and I didn't pull them out yet, but we do have a couple of books that we are going to give away. We got Victor Fonts, A Little Lower Than Angels. We got The Second in Eternity by Gary Wimmer, and his other book, Lithomancy, The Psychic Art of Reading. We are going to try and give those away tonight on the show. So if you want to be a part of that giveaway, we'll do it near the end of the show. And you have to be presently listening. You have to be in the chat. You got to put your name out there saying, I want the book. And we will take the names, depending on how many names there is. If there's not many names, we'll just pick one at random. Or I'll pick one at random. So that's what we got for tonight. Also, tonight's main topic of discussion is the Mandela Effect and parallel universes, where we're going to get into some of the different Mandela effects, and on the parallel universes, we're going to talk about, could the parallel universes be the cause of these Mandela effects? And of course, it's up to you to decide what you want to believe. But let's start off on the first website, 40 Mandela effects that will blow your mind. And I'm sure a lot of you know what these are. And I'm starting here because I'm going to leave that up, not to go to my camera real quick, because I forgot that I got something that I wanted to say about the Mandela effect before going, and but you know what? Let's jump right into it. I'll explain the Mandela effect a little bit later, but let's take a look at the website. And if we scroll down, of course, Nelson Mandela's death is the one that started it all. That's what got the Mandela effect rolling in, I believe it was 2009 is when it started. And if we keep going down, we got Jiffy versus Jif peanut butter. And I'm sure you've all heard of that Mandela effect. We're going to be talking about that in a later video. I'll show you about that in a later video. Then we're going to come down. We got Looney Tunes versus Looney Tunes. Different spellings on the tunes. The Berenstain Bears or Berenstain Bears. Berenstain Bears does not sound right. You know they're making up stuff, or we're in a parallel universe. But we'll get into that in a little bit later into the show. Scrolling down, Curious George, Tell or No Tell, Sex in the City or Sex and the City. I mean, I wasn't too much on that show, so I don't know. Febreze, and the list goes on down to Oscar Mayer. And again, there's 40. All the links will be in the description where you can check out this website for yourself. if you want to see what there is. Now, what we looked at are those that we looked at. Let's break down some of them, some Mandela effects, a little bit deeper, and look at which of these Mandela effects have gotten proven not to be a Mandela effect. And I'm going to break down just a few of these. As I mentioned, we got Jiffy versus Jiff. Let's watch this video and where Jiffy was mentioned.
100 years, 1,000 years,
a century,
1,000,
millennium,
yes,
a fortnight.
Okay, do this quickly. Peanut butter, peanut butter, not Skippy, but the other one.
Skip,
the other one.
Jelly.
Jiffy.
Oh, Jiffy.
Peanut butter. Crunchy peanut butter.
With the nuts in it?
Yeah.
Is it Jiffy or is it?
It don't matter, they all taste the same.
Okay.
Jiffy,
Jiffy peanut. Yeah, Jiffy is the one. Skippy is live too.
I get my kicks. Jiffy peanut butter is what I love. I prefer it all others above.
Meanwhile, I'm going to my friends at Jiffy to come up with that peanut butter mayonnaise combination that, yes, my dad used to make me eat.
Cakes too.
Yeah, you like cupcakes, I know that.
Mehmet, Jiffy peanut butter and the Reese's Pieces chocolate spread. Put it together.
BK. And also moving is Smuckers. Of course, they make jam, they make Jiffy peanut butter, they have full...
Peanut butter and jelly, Smuckers and Jiffy.
Yeah.
That I understand.
This one, it's called Jiffy because it gets lots of Jiffy peanut butter.
And then it's also...
Menu item in Chico is as synonymous with its restaurant as the Jiffy Burger is to Madison Bear Garden, and with so many icon J's for Jiffy Burger from Madison Bear Garden. The Bear, as the locals know it, adds bacon to its classic Bear Burger and then slathers it with creamy Jiffy peanut butter, mayonnaise, and jack cheese to create a mind-boggling...
Yeah, how you doing? I see that you have a Jiffy Burger on your menu.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I was wondering what kind of peanut butter you put on that.
The Jiffy.
Oh, you actually use Jiffy on it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. There it was on the menu, a little cartoon of Jiffy. A little jar of Jiffy peanut butter with a knife in one hand and some little legs and angry eyes ready for battle. Just wonder what kind of peanut butter you guys use on that?
We use the Jiffy, just creamy peanut butter.
Oh, okay. So you actually use Jiffy on it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
A grocery store to research this Carver guy. To know the man, I must taste the man. It's the same symbol as the dot over the I in Jiffy.
Okay, so as you can tell in that video, there was TV programs that were mentioning Jiffy, not Jeff, but yet everybody seems, well, I'm going to say a lot of the newer generation, millennials, Gen Z, they're all remembering it as Jeff. Now, Gen Xers like myself and boomers, they know it as Jiffy. Now, a lot of people might still think it's Jeff because they're believing what they're seeing on TV. Now, let's say you don't believe that. Let's take a look at this video of a person holding a Jiffy peanut butter jar.
So here's another thing that they say never existed. I have right here in my hands Jiffy creamy peanut butter. All the ingredients and stuff on it. So another Mandela effect, misproven, disproved, whatever you want to say. This is what it is. Cleaning out my dead uncle's house. This is what I found. He was very into this stuff. So this is right here, Jiffy peanut butter. So that's what we got. It was never Jif. I mean, there is Jif, but this is what we have. We have Jiffy peanut butter. So this is what we got here. Another Mandela effect disproven. So here's an...
All right, so now, as you saw, it was on TV, you can say, well, that was AI generated. Well, there's a person holding a Jiffy jar. Could that be a AI generated? Possibly, but I remember as Jiffy, I mean, my mom used to get Jiffy creamy peanut butter because I didn't care for the crunchy, but I mean, there was that peanut butter. You cannot tell me otherwise. But I think one part it's um trying to think of the right word to say, but a marketing play. Whereas another thought is the parallel universe, which again, like I said, we'll get into that later. Now, let's say another big one that most people have heard of is the Monopoly Man. Did he have a monocle or not? Let's take a look at this video that shows he did in some sort of way.
Monopoly Man's monocle in my hand. I spent too much time and too much money tracking down a 1996 Waddlington Jr. Monopoly board because apparently the $2 bill has the Monopoly Man with a monocle on. On the man, it will open more doors than it closes because it proves that it does exist. It's not part of our imagination, but how is it wiped from almost everything on the internet, every single board game? Something is happening. Shout out to Neil, who's the world record holder for Monopoly board games owned. He owns almost 4,000. And he's gonna help me figure out if any other board games have the monocle. Truly don't believe there is a man who can better help us at this time of need than him. The last time I will absolutely lose my mind if an American says we're just confusing it with Mr. Peanuts, because America does not make up most of the world. Most of the world remembers the monocle, and Mr. Peanuts didn't even make it to the UK till 2016. I'll let you guys look first. We did it! We found the monocle. Have the Monopoly Man's monocle in my hand.
Now you can see, of course, that's the Monopoly Junior board, not the regular Monopoly game that you can find everywhere today. That's the Monopoly Junior. But it's only on that $2 bill. But there are a lot of people that believe that at one time there was a Monopoly board where Mr. Monopoly had a monocle. And of course, the Monopoly Junior board came out in 1990. The Mandela Effect phenomenon didn't start until 2009, as I mentioned earlier. Now, another big one, and I used to wear Fruit of the Loom a lot, but another big one is the Fruit of the Loom logo and the cornucopia. A lot remember it with the cornucopia as I do, but let's look at this proof that there was a cornucopia. Now, let's say you don't believe that video. Go to Google Earth and look up the address yourself. I did, and it's there. Now, let's take another look at another video of the cornucopia. And in this, it's more of images. So we're going to go through these images one by one. And the first image is a t-shirt with the cornucopia on the tag of the shirt. It's not embroidered, but printed on. So it's not like it was made up. It wasn't a tag that was made up. It was actually put into the shirt with ink. And as you can see, the cornucopia is there. Next is a logo, or a thing on socks, and the cornucopia is there. the rapping for songs. The cornucopia is there. And then the last image, that same building from that video, right there. Somebody took a picture where it's clearer than what you can see in that first video. Clearly, that cornucopia is there. Now, if you look at that, all that, I mean, that's just the cornucopia one. That was a big one a few years back. Now, if you're a Star Wars fan, I'm sure everybody remembers Darth Vader telling Luke, I am your father. Or saying, Luke, I am your father, not I am your father. What people remember is I am your father. So let's watch that video.
Useless to resist. Don't let yourself be destroyed as Obi-Wan did. There is no escape. Don't make me destroy you. Luke, you do not yet realize your importance. You have only begun to discover your power. Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. I'll never join you! If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
Luke, I am your father.
No. It's not true. That's impossible.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Okay, and as you can see in that video, he did say, Luke, I am your father. But they're trying to say, no, he said, I am your father, without saying Luke's name. Now, but you clearly heard it there. Now let's look at one last one before we move on to parallel universes. And that one is Sinbad, and I'm sure y'all remember this one too. Sinbad as the genie as Shazam. Here is a clip from that movie. Let's take a look at that video.
Oh, man, it feels good to get out that thing. Woo! Kind of cramped up in there. Should have took you long enough, Tina. Wait, y'all are not Tina.
Kidnapper!
Wait. Where you going? I just got here. What happened to saying hello? Haha. I believe we got off on the wrong foot.
Don't come any closer.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start all over, right? I'm going to introduce myself. I am Shazam! I'm the genie of the lamp. And you are?
You're not a genie. Genies aren't real.
Every time I come out the lamp, I hear the same thing.
You better get out of here, alright?
Oh, you what? But you going to toot me to death? Shazam! Not going to scream again, are you? Because look, if you do, I'm going to have to take one of your wishes away.
He is a genie.
Alright, so as you can tell, that was Shazam. And if that's not convincing enough, here is a video of Sinbad himself confessing that he did play a genie as in Shazam. And we're going to listen to what he has to say. Let's check out this video.
I just want to say I'm embarrassed because I've been telling people I never did Shazam, and people always walking up on me, and I'm just going to tell you what happened. I did do Shazam. I'm not proud of it. When I did Shazam, I was doing a lot of crack. I was staying in crack houses, and I did Shazam for crack money. I knew it wasn't going to be a great movie because I have no genie skills. I think most movies, you have to bring something out of yourself, and I've never been a genie or had magical powers. It was a learning process for me as I was doing this movie, just getting into the lamp. I took a lot of yoga, a lot of Crisco oil to slide up into that lamp. So, I injured myself. I had a rotator cuff injury, but I'm not crying. I'm not crying because I'm tough. For those who said, hey, you saw Shazam when I was growing up, yeah, you did. It did exist. It took a lot of government intervention to get those videos out of people's homes and out of the video stores. I'm lucky because I'm ex-military, ex-special forces. So we were able to do a lot of mind control stuff to get those videotapes away from people. There's 3 tapes left. There are 3 Shazam videos still out there we did not find. And if we find you, we're going to kill you. And I just want you to know that. I want you to be aware of that because I felt bad that you didn't know you're on a hit list. And I'm ashamed. I'm totally ashamed of that. But I'm just saying, if you have that Shazam video, you're on a short list to have an assassin come to your house. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not saying, hey, if you want to post it on Twitter or something, say, hey, I got the video. But that means your whole family's gone. And I'm just trying to put that out there because I feel bad because of my weakness, not admitting that I did Shazam when I was in a bad space in my life. I was in a bad place in my life. And I just want to tell people it gets better. It gets better.
All right. So now, could he be bullshitting? Quite possibly. But I remember Shazam. I'm sure my producer remembers Shazam. How many of you remember Shazam? Pop it in the chat and let me know whether you're listening live or listening to the recording or watching the recording. Let me know in the chat what you believe. But now let's move on to parallel universes. And they can go hand in hand with the Mandela Effect, and I believe they do in some way. A lot of it could be propaganda, maybe it's mind control like Sinbad said there. We know that the government has Operation Mockingbird. You don't know what that is, look it up. I mean, they've known to do mind control, but I believe this could be part of a whole parallel universe where we have slipped into a different parallel universe. Now, parallel universe is a hypothetical, self-contained reality coexisting alongside our own. The concept ranging from theoretical physics, like the many worlds interpretation, to speculative fiction, propose that alternative versions of our universe, different timelines where historical events unfolded differently and exist simultaneously. Now, there are scientific theories. The idea of other realities isn't limited to science fiction. It's explored by several serious frameworks in modern cosmology and physics. The many-world interpretation, proposed by physicist Hugh Everett III in 1957, this quantum mechanics theory suggests that wherever a quantum decision is made, such as an electron moving left or right, the universe splits. Every possible outcome of the situation physically occurs in its own newly branched timeline. And we're going to get to CERN in a moment, in a bit here. And you heard about the electrons moving left to right. There's a cosmological inflation. Some inflation theories suggest that the rapid expansion of the early universe created isolated bubble-like regions of space. Each of these bubbles functions as its own universe, potentially with different physical laws and constraints. And then, of course, there's a string theory, which we're going to talk about, or we're going to listen to Michio Kaku here in a moment talk about string theory. But this theoretical framework requires up to 11 dimensions. It suggests that our universe might be a three-dimensional brain, short for membrane, floating like in a higher dimensional space, whereas the other brains or entire parallel universes could exist. Now, variations in concept, while often used interchangeably, different terms represent specific flavors of parallel or alternate realities, alternate universes. Often refers to a variation of our timeline where events branch off in a specific historical crossroad. I think something like that was mentioned in the Back to the Future series. Alternate dimensions, which I mentioned last Friday night with the monsters and cryptids and the Bermuda Triangle, stuff like that. Sometimes used to describe a space that occupies the same physical location but exists in a different frequency layer or spatial dimension that cannot normally perceive. Like I was talking about where Bigfoot could be slipping in and out of those type of dimensions. Again, that's another theory. The multiverse, and we've heard that word in a lot of DC Marvel comics, Spider-Man and multiverse, or whatever. I'm not much of a comic book fan, but anyways, it's in TV and movie. But the grand overarching collection of the possible parallel universes, alternate dimensions, and alternate realities that make up total existence. So, do parallel universes exist? Let's check out this article from space.com and we'll take a look and see what it has to say. Do parallel universes exist? We might live in a multiverse. And scrolling down, parallel universes are no longer just a feature of a good sci-fi story. There are some scientific theories that support the idea of parallel universes beyond our own. However, the multiverse theory remains one of the most controversial theories in science. Now, our universe is unimaginably big, and I'm just looking at time real quick because I don't want to go too fast. Unimaginably big, hundreds of billions of, if not trillions of galaxies spin through space, each containing billion or trillions of stars. Some researchers studying models of the universe speculate that the universe diameter could be 7 billion light years across. Others think it could be infinite. But is that all that is out there? Science fiction loves the idea of a parallel universe and the thought that we might be living in one of those infinite number of possibility lives. Multiverses aren't reserved just for Star Trek, Spider-Man, or Doctor Who, though real scientist theories explore and in some cases support the case for universes outside, parallel to, or distant from, but mirroring our own. Now, I'll leave a link to the website up on the Talk of the Night website for you to check out that full thing. But let's take a look at Dr. Michio Kaku, which I mentioned, and what he has to say about parallel universes.
How likely do you believe that parallel universes actually exist? And how does that play into the afterlife? If you come to an end in one timeline, can you still continue on and exist in another?
Well, believe it or not, we physicists do believe in parallel universes. I work in something called string theory. And in string theory, we have multiple universes. And in fact, Marvel Comics got wind of the fact that we physicists are working with parallel universes. And now we have all the Marvel superheroes living and fighting in parallel universes. The problem, however, is going between them. That is the problem. It would take an enormous amount of energy to go from one universe to the other universe. So do we believe in parallel universes? Yes, that's called quantum mechanics. That is the foundation of modern society, in fact. But can we go between parallel universes? Well, that's a $64,000 question.
All right, and you heard him mention string theory in there, which we did briefly talk about. Now let's talk about 7 other theories that I have not mentioned in this next set of photos. And we're going to go one by one and talk about them and explain them. So let's check out those 7 different theories. Where the sliding door theory is, every choice you don't make created another version of you. Your other selves are living out every what if. So there is the sliding door theory. Then there is the bleed through theory, where 2 timelines overlap. You feel it as deja vu, wrong memories, which again could be the Mandela Effect. People remember things that they say didn't exist. That's where the parallel universe comes into play with the Mandela Effect. That's why I put these 2 topics together. Nostalgia for places that you've never been. Dreams that feel like lives. It's 2 realities blending for a moment. Then there is the unfinished business theory. Ever think of someone randomly? Dream about people you don't talk about anymore? Feel connected to someone that's not there? In another universe, your story with them never ended. I mean, that's the unfinished business theory. Then the next one is the wrong room theory. When you walk into a place and everything feels off, colors seem weird, time feels different, vibes are wrong, you accidentally step into a wrong universe for a second. Number 5, the echo soul theory. Random emotions that don't match your life. Random sadness, random joy, random fear, random confidence. That's another you blending through in that theory. Number 6, the jump theory. Trauma, heartbreak, or near-death moments that can shock you into another timeline. Waking up feeling like everything is indifferent now and is not random. You jumped realities. Now, when I talked to the first show back, when I had Gary Wimmer on, he mentioned being in a different reality or eternity. Was he experiencing one of these jump theories in his near-death experience? Never know. Again, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to get you to believe one way or the other. I'm just putting the information out there for you. And then finally, number 7, the NPC, the non-player character theory. Some people feel empty, scripted, or disconnected because that's the only consciousness in certain universes. Not everyone is real everywhere. Again, that is the Truman Show type of a theory of parallel universes. Like we're all living in a simulation. Now, when it comes to parallel universes, is it possible? And this is very interesting to think about, because CERN just shut down for 4 years. It's supposed to restart up back in 2030. But is it possible that CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, can prove parallel universes, or maybe They have created one, and I'm going to talk about this for a second. Well, actually, I'll talk about it in a moment. Let's take a look at this article from 2015. Now, this is an older article. How to find a parallel universe. CERN boosts data intelligence. CERN is restarting it. Well, again, this is 2015, but they're restarting the Large Hadron Collider after a 2-year massive upgrade. I think they've been doing this before. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a moment after this. We take a look at this thing. To start working on amazing experiments to reveal the identity of dark matter. And to search for any tiny black holes that could be gateways to our parallel universes. Or alternate dimensions. Right there in the article. Yes, modern physics and math actually indicate parallel universes are pretty likely. The big question is how to prove it. The new improved Large Hadron Collider, mankind's most powerful particle accelerator, begins firing protons beams again this month, and at almost twice the energy it previously ran. And of course, we're going to stop there. I'm going to leave that in the link or in the description where you can read the whole thing. But as you heard me talking about right there, I mean, we got 20 minutes, and I still got one more thing to talk about. But I want to talk about this real quick, and this is probably going to be talked about for a moment before we go even to that last video talking about CERN and parallel universes. But now, as I said, CERN is shut down for 4 years until 2030. Why? I don't know. Do you know? But could it be that we are living in a parallel universe? Maybe in 2015, maybe it was even 2012 when we were supposed to experience the end of the world with the Mayan calendar. Did they switch on something and collide those particle beams together and put us in a parallel universe in 2009? Maybe 2015 was them trying to get us back into the right reality, the right universe, the right parallel universe. Again, it's tough to say, but I believe CERN plays a big part in that. And I believe they created a parallel universe. And I think maybe the Mayan calendar, the big hoopla with that, was a cover-up for them creating this parallel universe and getting us into this parallel universe, because in 2009 is when the Mandela Effect. Now, could it all have started before 2009? Quite possibly. It could have started at the beginning of the millennium. Remember, we were supposed to, everything was supposed to go dark when the clock, or not the clock, but the calendar switched over from 1999 to 2000. Everything was supposed to stop working by 2K. Could that be when we entered a alternate reality? And was it CERN that was behind that? Are we just known to be able to switch in and out of these different realities? Again, I'm going to let you decide. I want to know what you think down in the comments. Let me know. And whether you're listening live or not, do you think CERN played a part in the parallel universes or some weird simulation that we're in? And maybe what they're doing by shutting down, like I mentioned in that article in 2015, they had shut down and they restarted it, and now they shut it down again for 4 years. Maybe they're trying to figure out ways to get us back on track on our timeline, because if you look at a timeline, you're mostly seeing that straight line. But one little slip, and there's that path going off this way. And it reality matching ours. Dr. Michio Kaku, I've learned a lot from him. They're theoretical physicists. Both are parallel to each other. They look the same, but there could be there are slight differences in those two different realities. Maybe, like I talked about Bigfoot, he lives in a different parallel universe. And I'm trying to think here. Maybe in his world, his species is the humanoid. And like me and you, we're the humanoids in this plane of existence or this dimension. Whereas Bigfoot might be his own different humanity, or not humanity, but humanoid in his parallel universe. I mean, I'm throwing just out different thoughts on this. And of course, like I said, I want to know what you think down in the comments down below. Now, I don't have a whole lot left, and I want to take a look at this last video here in a second. But now that we talked about the Mandela Effect, parallel universes, and CERN, let's watch this video that connects all three. The Mandela Effect, parallel universes, and CERN. Let's check out this video.
You are living in a parallel universe. I'm going to tell you why. But first, please like and share and follow if you like the content. It encourages me to make more. Okay? So let's get to it. So before we get to the parallel universe part, let's talk about the Mandela Effect and why this proves we are in a parallel universe. The Mandela Effect in a nutshell is you remembering something completely different to what they say it is now. There's many different examples of it, all the way from your favorite movies and TV shows and songs and maps of the world and all sorts of interesting things. I've got tons of video on this on my channel. Check it out. The first occurrence of the Mandela Effect was documented in 2009. And the reason for that significance is CERN, the Large Hadron Collider in Europe, which circles protons around this 27 kilometer track at the speed of light, did its first soft test in 2008. Not even a soft test, actually. It circled a proton around it, and that was a big, and that was a huge milestone. 2009 is when they actually collided two protons together, or whatever the heck it's called. That's way over my pay grade. You can Google it, though. At 99.9% the speed of light. And now many different people, from like child prodigies to super smart scientists and whatnot, say that when they did that, when they smashed those protons together at almost the speed of light, it actually pushed Earth into a parallel universe. Check out this quick vid.
Destroyed our universe. I mean, even when we thought about starting it, we thought our universe would implode, and then it didn't, and we're like, oh, it's okay. Well, maybe it did implode. We just instantly got shifted to another universe.
And that's your belief. And that's why, if you were born before 2008, 2009, and old enough to remember things like television programs from the 2000s or the early 90s, clothing, all sorts of different businesses, maps, they're different to what they say they are now, because in that parallel universe, it's the same but not the same. There's subtle differences, as you can see here from ChatGPT. So, parallel universe, I fully believe that happened. I mean, there is so much evidence of it now, and for someone to say, there's lots of people that argue with it, but they're not born before 2008. They're born in like 2010 or 2009, whatever, So their universe is going to be the one that we're in now, not the one that we got pushed over from. Do you understand? So check out my other videos about the Mandela Effect, and you'll see all of the craziness. And especially like if you were in your teens in the 90s, things are way different now than you remember them being back then. Hey, don't forget to...
Yeah, and now, as you heard right there, I mean, that connected all three of them. Now, could we have gotten pushed into a parallel universe? Our whole Earth got pushed into a parallel universe. again, it's a theory, it's a thought. We don't know. Could CERN have made caused a split in the timeline to make a parallel universe? Could we have ended our existence here and we're stuck in a parallel universe, or our soul is stuck in a parallel universe? Because I've heard the thought that when we die, we don't go to heaven or hell or higher plane or lower plane of existence like I believe, but there is the thought that we actually go into another parallel universe that is similar to ours. And when we have deja vu, when we're born into a new body, our soul is born into a new body, maybe in a parallel universe. Again, this is just my thoughts on it, and I want to know what you think down in the comments. Is when we have deja vu, we're remembering something from our past, maybe from a parallel universe. Like like people like my age are remembering the cornucopia on the Fruit of the Loom, or the Monopoly Man with the monocle, or Jiffy and Jif peanut butter, or even Pikachu with either the black tail or the just all yellow. I mean, it's out there for us to figure out. Again, I don't have all the answers, and this is just my thoughts, my theories on this, but I do believe that we are stuck in a parallel universe. And I can't tell you whether we are ever going to get back to where we were. We may never reach that point. But in a different parallel universe, maybe we're all dead. The Earth is dead in another parallel universe. Maybe Yellowstone erupted in a parallel universe. Maybe the dinosaurs are still alive in another parallel universe. That's where the multiverse comes into effect. Different universes, and there's plenty of movies and TV shows out there explaining this. And could the government know this? And they are, well, not the government per se, but the powers that shouldn't be, I should say. Let me do air quotes here. Make sure, because I'm just speculating. But the powers that be know this stuff, and they're putting it out there. Like the Simpsons have been known for predicting future events. Maybe they got that from time travel. Maybe they got that, and we'll do a show on time travel eventually. But I want to know your thoughts on this. Do you think we are stuck in a parallel universe? Do you think that CERN is the cause of the parallel universe? Do you think our Earth, like in that last video, was pushed into a different parallel universe? How many parallel universes do you think are out there? These are just some answers that I would love to know what you think. And let me know down in the comments down below, whether you're listening live or on the recording. Now, again, like I said at the start of the show, we got some books to give away. I've been trying to give them away, and I want to give them away to you, the listeners and viewers. So, unfortunately, nobody's popped in the chat. I don't know if anybody's listening. I can't tell who is. I don't have a thing that says how many people are watching or listening to this. I wish I could tell you that, but I can't. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to try and run a contest on all the social media, and we're going to try and give away those books. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do that contest. And I want to try to boost the listenership. So if you love this show, if you love what the topics are discussed on this show, if you love what you heard tonight, if you love the guests that you heard, even though things have been a little wonky, but I've worked with my producer. I think we got it down to where she might need a little time learning the transitions a little quicker, but she's getting it. And I think tonight went pretty smooth, except for maybe one or two times, but twice. But she's told me once, but twice. I noticed one the other time that she didn't. But anyways, that beside the point. Like I said, I'm trying to grow the show, so make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. Make sure you follow all the social media so you know what's coming up next. I'll be posting about August shows coming up soon. And again, I will try to do, maybe next week sometime, do a contest on social media where you can win one of those books that I got. And for future shows, we'll try to do a contest on Friday nights, because that's when I want to do the contest to give away those books. But if we have to do it on social media, we have to do it that way. So again, thank you for tuning in to the show. Now, if you're, and I did not bring up the show's website or the thing, but I'm pretty sure she did. If you are enjoying Talking Tonight, why not take a piece of the show with you? Visit talkingtonight.com, click on more or hover over more, and then Talking Tonight merch store for t-shirts, coffee mugs, ball caps, all that good stuff. I'll be adding more designs and more products pretty soon as I get a chance. And your support helps keep the conversation going, keeping the show going, giving you some great shows. And if you want to put your business out in front of passionate late night audience, then Talking Tonight is now welcoming advertisers and sponsors. Reach listeners interested in the topics discussed on the show. Visit talkingtonight.com, learn more, or contact us today via the website talkingtonight.com or talkingtonight@outlook.com. Grow your business with Talking the Night. Now, next week, we got some great shows for you. And I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah. I was trying to remember what we have for next Friday. But I remember now. Next Wednesday, we got Mindy Jackson as we talk about healing energies. Energy healing. We're going to talk about ley lines. All that metaphysical energy healing, energy producing things with Mindy Jackson on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. Then next Friday, we're going to get into more of the conspiracy again with AI. And is the AI takeover here? Are we headed towards a disastrous takeover by AI robots like in iRobot or Terminator? We're going to talk about that all next week. So hopefully you'll join me next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time, right here on the Talking Tonight YouTube channel, and on Friday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, right here on the YouTube channel. So until, and we got about 4 minutes, but I'm going to end it a little bit early, because I want to thank everybody for tuning in, whether you're listening live or listening to the recording later on. But I want to thank you for all tuning in, and make sure that you share this about, let other people know about the show. Help me grow the show by sharing it. And until Wednesday night, I shall see you on the dark side. Good night.